Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a video on this Ansco Shur Shot 120 box camera. The Ansco Shur Shot, well, mine particularly was made in 1948. This is probably one of the simplest box cameras out there. There's no aperture adjustment. There's no bulb or time exposure lever like on a regular Kodak camera. To load film into this camera, you gotta open up this back door right here and then pull the film advance knob out like that. Then you pull the film holder or carriage or whatever you want to call it out. It looks like this. There's your take up spool on top, and that's where you load your film in on the bottom. An Ansco camera, it's basically the reversed version of a regular Kodak Brownie camera. Instead of it being taken up on the bottom, it's taken up on the top. I have heard some people saying that they have issues with the 120 film backing paper numbers not lining up in this window right here. But I have used both just regular Ilford black and white film as well as Kodak T-Max black and white film in here, and I haven't had any issues with the film frame numbers lining up in this window. That's the same thing to put the film holder back in, close the door, press the knob in and turn it until it clicks in. If you need to work on this camera or clean the shutter, there isn't anything in the way of the shutter. I can stick my finger in there and to remove the front plate off of the camera, there's these little tabs right here with these little metal studs in them. There's one on each side. So simply get those off. Just get like a knife or some pliers, lift them up, give it a little wiggle. Now you have accessed the inside of the the shutter assembly. One thing about this camera that's very different from your typical Kodak Brownie is the mirrors on the inside for your viewfinders are actually, they're not really mirrors. It's basically just a piece of polished metal that has been riveted to the front plate of the camera, which is, I guess you could say, advantageous over some certain Kodak cameras, which are, instead of being riveted to the front plate, they would be somewhere in here glued on the inside, which is an issue with especially very old Kodak Brownie cameras, that the mirrors have fallen out and are loose and you have to glue them back in. So you can see the lever right here, this little red thing. To fire the shutter, you just pull that down and it fires. And since there's no screws or nails in or anything in holding this in place, so it's very easy to get in and clean the inside of the shutter and the lens. It can be a little bit tricky to clean the lens because there's no function for a bulb or a time exposure to keep the shutter open, so you kind of just have to get one hand and hold the shutter open while your other hand is cleaning the inside. To put the faceplate back on, the front plate back on, all you got to do is just do that. It just clicks back into place. Make sure you get both of those tabs back in place. So you have, there's also, I forgot to mention, you have 2 viewfinders, waist level viewfinders. Right there and there. So that's it. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.